6 p.m. Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan, the news read by Zahra Sikandar. First, the headlines. Prime Minister has underlined the need for practical steps to protect glaciers to safeguard agriculture and environment. National Assembly was informed today that government is working on ML1 project to upgrade rail infrastructure across the country. The Minister for Energy says Pakistan Minerals Investment Forum to be held next month in Islamabad will explore investment opportunities in vast potential. In Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, all parties here at conference has strongly condemned Modi government for depriving Kashmiris of their fundamental rights through military force. At the United Nations, Pakistan has strongly condemned resumption of indiscriminate killing of Palestinians in Gaza by Israeli forces. And Pakistan today beat New Zealand by 9 wickets in the third T20 at Auckland today. Now the news in detail. Prime Minister Mohammad Shehbaz Sharif has underlined the need for practical steps to protect glaciers to safeguard livelihoods, agriculture and environment. In a message to the World Day for Glaciers being observed today, he said glaciers are a guarantee of life on Earth as these maintain the environmental system in its natural form and ensure the supply of clean water. The Prime Minister said today we recognize the need for immediate steps to protect the important reservoirs of clean water. He said due to climate change, the weather is changing and the average temperature is rising, resulting in the rapid melting of more than 10,000 glaciers. He said Pakistan needs further cooperation in different areas, including the program to monitor glaciers, early forecasting system, and to attract investment for alternative solutions to store the water. The National Assembly was informed today that government is pursuing ML1 upgrading project to improve rail infrastructure. Minister of State for Railways Bilal Azharkiani told the House during question hour that a Chinese technical team will soon visit Pakistan to advance the project. He also mentioned that the improvement of the rail infrastructure from Karachi to Hyderabad is part of Package 1 of the ML1 upgradation. Bilal Azharkiani said Pakistan Railway has successfully outsourced the commercial management of multiple trains to private contractors, significantly increasing revenue generation. The Minister of State said security of trains in Balochistan has been enhanced following Jaffa Express incident. He said fencing of Quetta railway station will also be carried out. Minister of State for National Health Services Mukhtar Ahmed Malik said this is a proposal under consideration to bring a healthcare insurance scheme for federal government employees. Minister for Energy Ali Parvez Malik has invited global investors to take part in the upcoming Pakistan Minerals Investment Forum 2025, scheduled to be held on 8th and 9th of next month. In a briefing to investors from the various countries, the minister encouraged them to send delegates to explore Pakistan's vast mineral resources and investment opportunities. He said the forum will bring together government investors, international corporations, investors, policymakers and experts to discuss Pakistan's mineral potential. Ali Parvez highlighted that Pakistan has significant mineral wealth, including some of the world's largest copper and gold reservoirs, and the event will showcase Pakistan's unexplored mineral resources. The minister also said the forum will present Pakistan's recent policy reforms and efforts to strengthen institutional capacity. Advisor to the Prime Minister on Political and Public Affairs, Rana Sanaullah Khan, has reaffirmed the federal government's unwavering commitment to eradicate terrorism from the country. In an interview, the advisor emphasized that the government is resolute in its mission to root out terrorism. The advisor urged all stakeholders to shun their differences and work together to achieve this critical goal. 10 days are left now for all illegal foreigners and Afghan citizen card holders to leave Pakistan. The government has given a deadline for illegal foreigners and Afghan citizens card holders to leave the country by 31st of this month. The government has assured that no mistreatment will occur during the process, and it has made arrangements for food and health facilities for those returning. Meanwhile, repatriation of illegal Afghan nationals to their homelands is continuing, and so far 874,282 Afghans have left Pakistan. This is Radio Pakistan. In Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, all parties here at conference has strongly condemned the BJP-led Indian government for depriving Kashmiris of their fundamental rights to military force under Kenyan laws. APHC spokesperson Advocate Abdul Rashid Minhas, in a statement, Srinagar said that United Nations to pressure India to halt its military operations against unarmed Kashmiris in the occupied territory. He also called on the United Nations to push India to revoke draconian laws like the Public Safety Act and the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, which are being used to violate Kashmir's rights and justify unlawful detentions. He emphasized that the Kashmir dispute remains a major threat to regional peace and stability, with Kashmirs enduring immense suffering. However, he lamented that India's refusal to engage in a meaningful and result-oriented dialogue remains the biggest obstacle to just and lasting solution. Meanwhile, at the 58th session of the United Nations Human Rights Council in Geneva, speakers have condemned India's use of digital tools to suppress dissent in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. They also criticized the 2020 Kashmir media policy for tightening press restrictions. Pakistan has strongly condemned the resumption of Israel's deadly bombardments on Gaza and the indiscriminate killing of Palestinians. Pakistan's permanent representative to the United Nations, Munir Akram, speaking at Security Council, said this is not the way to secure the release of its hostages. He said the best way to obtain the hostages' freedom is through full implementation of ceasefire agreement, including a permanent cessation of hostilities, complete Israeli troop withdrawal from Gaza, unrestricted humanitarian access, and a reconstruction plan for the war-shattered enclave. The Pakistani envoy said that civilians have been the central victims of the current war. He said the council must never forget the thousands of Palestinians, including women and children, who remain arbitrarily detained. Munir Akram said the protection of civilians must be ensured in full compliance with the international humanitarian law, including the Foreign Geneva Convention. Israeli forces has intensified its ground invasion in southern Gaza, and troops are pushing into the north. According to the medical authorities and the UNICEF, more than 590 Palestinians, including 200 children, have been martyred in attacks since Israel broke the Gaza ceasefire last Tuesday. The death toll continues to rise as Israel airstrikes and ground assaults intensify. Israeli authorities also imposed restrictions on Palestinians on going to pray at Al-Aqsa Mosque for the third consecutive Friday during Ramadan. The United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestine Refugees says the situation in Gaza is gravely concerning, with massive reduction in distribution of aid supplies. The agency official Sam Rose, speaking from Gaza, told reporters on telephone that progress we made as an aid system over the last 6 weeks of the ceasefire is being reserved. North Korea has test fired the latest anti-aircraft missile system. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un oversaw the test firing of the missile system. The test conducted by North Korea's Missile Administration is to examine the performance of a system whose production has already begun. Germany has reopened its embassy in Damascus 13 years after it was shuttered in the early phase of Syria's civil war. German Foreign Minister Annalena Baerbock reopened the mission during a visit to Damascus. Pakistan beat New Zealand by 9 wickets in the third T20 of 5-match series at Auckland today. Batting first, New Zealand were all out in 19.5 overs at 204 runs. In reply, Pakistan achieved the target in 16 overs for the loss of 1 wicket. The fourth match of the series will be played on Sunday. New Zealand lead the series 2-1. And finally, the weather. Dry weather is expected in most parts of the country during the next 12 hours. And with this, we come to the end of the news. For more news and analysis, visit our website radio.ui.pk.